A new city, a new house, and a boy she was never supposed to notice. It's a story about proximity, what happens when two strangers are forced to share the same life. This is the story of attraction that begins exactly where it shouldn't. At the beginning of the film, we follow the main character, Noah. She's packing her things, and at that moment, Rafaela's voice is heard from the stairs. The heroine is getting ready to leave, but at the last moment she grabs from the table her photo with her father. Together with her mother, Noah travels many kilometers. Rafaela tries to start a conversation, seeing that her daughter is angry. However, Noah had to leave everything she knew and loved. Rafaela explains that she loves Will, the man they are going to now. The heroine reminds her that she also loved Dan, but her mother took her away from him. Rafaela advises her daughter to accept the new life and try to deal with her anger. Soon, the car arrives at the villa. She argues with Martin, who tries to take her suitcase. Will greets the heroine warmly and offers to show her the house. After the tour, Rafaela brings her daughter to her room. The woman asks her not to worry about Nick, Will's son, and to feel at home. Rafaela says she wants to give Noah the best life possible. Left alone, the heroine unpacks her things and takes photos with her new expensive dresses. She talks on the phone with her friend and says she literally feels embarrassed by all this luxury, especially by the thought of the upcoming dinner on the yacht. The heroine goes to the kitchen and jokes that there's probably no simple sandwich in this house. She bumps into Nick, who talks to her rather sharply and mocks her name. When Noah drops her phone, Nick's dog appears next to her. The guy finds the situation amusing and doesn't give the command sit. Noah hides behind him and grabs a frying pan to somehow protect herself. Nick calls off the dog and jokingly calls the heroine little sister. Going upstairs, he suddenly hears from her phone the voice of her friend saying that Noah has a very hot stepbrother. Finally, it's time to head out for dinner. Noah appears in front of everyone in quite an eccentric outfit. Nick examines her look with a slight smile, then smiles at her again as he drives by in his car. At the restaurant, Noah jokes about Will, introducing herself to the waiter as his new wife. During dinner, the heroine criticizes Nick for doing surfing, believing that individual sports don't require much intelligence. The guy gets ready to leave for work, remarking that the evening seems boring. Will asks his son to give Noah a ride home. Rafaela and he really hope their children will get along. On the way, Nick drives dangerously, which infuriates Noah, and a fight breaks out between them. The guy notes that it must be hard for Rafaela to have such a daughter. Noah replies that Nick probably doesn't know anything about motherly love. This hits him. He asks the heroine to get out of the car and then drives off. A guy named Mario picks Noah up. By accident, the heroine finds out from him that instead of going to work, Nick is actually heading to a party. Together with Mario, she arrives there. Noah sees Nick having fun and begins to argue with him. The guy pushes her against a jeep and jokes that she supposedly likes it. But Nick himself isn't interested in little naive girls and advises her not to tell Will about the party. Noah meets Jenna and hangs out with her by the pool. Their conversation is interrupted by Lion, Jenna's boyfriend. The heroine is standing by the pool when Ronnie approaches her to introduce himself. His friend offers her a drink. Nick steps in and knocks the glass out of Noah's hand, explaining that this guy might slip something into girls' drinks. Seeing that the heroine is feeling unwell, Nick decides to take her home. The guy carries Noah to the bed, listening to her confused words about glass, liquid, and fragility. The heroine has a nightmare in which Rafaela wakes her and asks her to hide in the closet, while a man bangs on their bedroom door. In the morning, Noah wants to tell Will and her mother everything. However, it turns out that Nick sent a message from her phone saying she stayed at Jenna's to watch a movie. The guy smiles, thinking he has outsmarted Noah. During the day, the heroine relaxes on the beach and hears Nick telling his friends that glass is a liquid. Noah carefully watches him as he changes clothes. Jenna notices this and jokingly teases the heroine. In the evening, a car race takes place. Nick keeps getting distracted by Noah, which prevents him from taking the lead at first, but he still manages to win, and this enrages Ronnie. Noah finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her with her best friend. She drinks a lot, and after receiving new photos, she kisses a stranger. Nick watches this with displeasure. The guy drives away Noah's brazen admirer and finds out that the girl did it to get back at her boyfriend. Nick offers her help. After that, he leaves her in his car, deciding to have some fun. Noah gets behind the wheel. Suddenly, Ronnie appears and tells her that she's standing on the starting line and the race is about to begin. Noah gets angry that the guy is giving her a head start and decides to race instead of Nick. Despite Ronnie's ramming and dirty tricks, the heroine manages to finish first. However, it turns out that because of this, Nick has to pay another crew $15,000 and give up his car. The guy tolerates it, but loses control when Ronnie starts insulting Noah and a fight breaks out between them. The girl covers her ears with her hands, just like she did during her parents' arguments. Jenna manages to pull her out of the crowd and bring her to the car. In the morning, Noah receives a threatening message from an unknown sender. Meanwhile, Nick talks to his younger sister, with whom he shares the same mother. Maggie worries that their mom left again and might have abandoned them. Nick comforts his sister and hugs her. In the evening, the guy returns home and sits next to Noah. The heroine apologizes about the car, and Nick kisses her in response. Unexpectedly, he pulls away and asks Noah not to let him get too close. Rafaela appears in the room. She asks Nick to talk to his father because his absence at an important event really upset Will. Suddenly, it turns out that Noah's mother has brought Dan as a guest. The heroine asks Nick not to show himself because she sent Dan their photo where they are kissing. Dan tries to apologize to the girl, but Nick does everything he can to prevent him from doing so. Then the guy pulls Noah into the pool and kisses her. The heroine receives a bouquet with threats. Dan realizes that Noah kissed her stepbrother and suggests talking about it in the evening. Ronnie inspects Nick's car and gets ready for revenge. Nick returns home with unpleasant marks on his face and sees Dan entering Noah's room. The guy gets angry and goes out to the terrace, where, to his surprise, Noah is sleeping. Nick wakes the heroine and asks her not to walk around alone because Ronnie is very dangerous. The next day, the staff helps hide Nick and Noah's relationship. Martin pretends that the marks on the guy's face appeared when he fell near the pool. In the evening, Nick drives with his acquaintance Anna and Mario. The guy learns that Noah's father was a racer and died after speeding too much. From Anna, Noah also hears that Nick ran away from home as a teenager and lived in Mexico. After getting out of the car, Nick kisses Noah and becomes more assertive. The heroine realizes she has arrived at a fight in which Nick himself will participate. She gets angry and asks him what event caused him to express his pain so aggressively. Noah can't watch the fight calmly and runs outside. There, Mario unexpectedly kisses her, but Nick pushes him away immediately. The heroine gets angry and tells the guy she can't be with him because of actions like this. Noah admits she is scared and doesn't want another violent man in her life. The relationship between Nick and the heroine becomes very tense and painful for both of them. While working in a restaurant, Noah receives another anonymous threatening note. Nick learns that Noah's father once almost harmed her and was recently released. Rafaela didn't tell her daughter about this because Noah is very afraid of this man. While the heroine is having fun with Jenna, an unfamiliar man, the same one who previously talked to Ronnie, watches her car. Noah decides to leave the party because she is bored. The unknown man begins to get out of the car. However, at that moment, Nick appears. Jenna talks to the guy and asks him to apologize to Noah because the girl has been feeling bad for 2 weeks already. Anna locks the heroine in a closet, and Noah begins to hallucinate. She sees her father, who looks very similar to the man from the car. Nick saves Noah from Anna and puts her in the car. At home, the guy asks why Noah lied about her father. The heroine asks Nick to stay with her, and he falls asleep on her bed. In the morning, Will enters the room. The man says nothing about what he saw, but asks Nick to get dressed quickly because Maggie has been taken to the hospital. It turns out the girl hid behind a wardrobe and didn't notice the alert about her critically low blood sugar. Fortunately, everything turns out fine. On the way back, Noah kisses Nick. The heroine realizes that because of their parents' relationship, their kiss might be the last one. So she suggests spending some time alone with him. Noah lies on the beach and asks Nick never to forget what happened between them. The couple spends the whole night on the shore, cuddling and watching the sunrise. Noah again suggests to the guy that they play their night games, and Nick stops at a gas station. At that moment, Ronnie gets into the car. Noah tries to call for help, but she can't. Nick notices that the girl has disappeared. During the day, he reviews the security camera footage and recognizes Ronnie. After regaining consciousness, Noah realizes she is being held by her father, Hanas. The man calls his ex-wife and demands a ransom for their daughter. It turns out he met Ronnie while serving time in prison. Rafaela and Will wait for Hannes at the arranged location. Nick suddenly remembers that the car he lost in the race has a GPS tracker that can help them find her. Hannes hears this and forces Noah to get behind the wheel. The girl drives the car, and Nick, along with the police, begins a pursuit. Noah drives well, and Hannes even praises her for it. The man believes the heroine and her mother must be punished for the years he spent in prison. Trying to escape, Noah accidentally drives into a yacht parking area where there is no space to turn around. Hannes approaches her with threats, saying the escape is over. Unexpectedly, the heroine looks straight into Nick's eyes and starts driving right toward him. Together with the guy, Noah repeats a maneuver they once saw on TV. Nick and the girl duck in time, and the police neutralize Hannes. Rafaela hugs her daughter and thanks Nick for saving her. During the night, Nick sneaks into the heroine's room and stays with her. After that, the guy confesses his love to Noah, and she realizes that their story is only beginning. At this moment, the film ends. In the end, nothing about their story was simple. Too many secrets, too many rules, too many people deciding what was right. Sometimes the one person you should avoid becomes the only one who truly sees you.